Oh yeah, I'm ready for the questions.
All
I'm
right.
waiting on you guys.
All righty. So questions for Coach Brown.
I'll jump in here, IB. What's the energy like? You guys made it. We saw the celebration video. It was one of the better videos of the weekend. How's everybody feeling, and what's the mood of the team right now?
You muted, Isaac. Hey, Coach, you're muted. Coach Brown, you got to unmute.
Excited and just ready to get to work, man. Everybody is good. Isaiah had a good practice yesterday, and he's expected to practice today, and we got to practice later on tonight. But everybody's excited, just ready to play.
Hey, Coach, in your words, can you just give us a scouting report on Drake and what you guys have been preparing for the game?
A good basketball team that's used to winning. I can't say that enough. They won 24 games. I remember when we were in the Valley, we would come out of the conference tournament with these 12 and 13 game win streaks, and that team had a long win streak this year, so they're used to winning. But they remind me of a team in the American because they run a lot of dribble drive. They're not a motion team. They try to beat you with motion. They try to beat you one-on-one, off the dribble, off the bounce, and we got to do a good job of being in the gaps, containing the drive. And we got to do a good job of getting back in transition because they're a high-scoring team.
All right, Chris Willie.
Yeah, Coach. What did you learn most maybe from your time as an assistant during these NCAA tournament runs, and what are you looking forward to most this year?
The biggest thing I was telling the players yesterday, and we talked about the conference tournament, about executing in the NCAA tournament. You're going up against teams that are not used to scouting you. So all your plays will work. You can steal baskets, as we call it, by getting layups, just operating your sets. So we got to do a good job of executing in the half court to be able to get some easy baskets. We're going to get baskets in transition. We're going to get them on offensive rebounds. But when we go against a set defense, we have to execute.
All right, Adam from the Columbus Dispatch.
Hi, Isaac. I'm writing about Ohio State basketball, and they have Oral Roberts on Friday. And I just wondered what it was like preparing for them and what it was like preparing for a guy like Max who shoots at the level that he does.
Good basketball team. The starting point guard can really, starting two guard, can really score it. He's got NBA range. You got to do a good job of standing out 35 feet to keep him from getting them off. They're starting five-man. They'll run some ball screen action with those two guys, and he can shoot the three just as well. You got to do a good job of guarding the three-point line. They are excellent at the pick and pop stuff. Dangerous basketball team. You got to keep those two guys under control.
All right, Taylor Eldridge with the Wichita Eagle.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that they kind of remind you of an American team. Just kind of expand on that. Who do they remind you of, and what kind of comes to mind? What would be the comparison there?
When I say an American team, I mean teams in our league, like everybody, like teams in the Missouri Valley. When we played in the Valley, they were teams that played slow down basketball. They wanted to execute. They wanted to make it a half court game. They ran a lot of motion. This team, Drake, they play like teams doing American. They try to beat you off the dribble with the dribble drive. They play a lot of one-on-one. You know, they got guards that can get in the paint and create for themselves, but can create for others. So they're kind of like teams in American. They look to dribble drive, beat you off the bounce, and try to score a lot of baskets. They're a high-scoring basketball team.
All right, Shakira with KSN.
Coach, you guys have been in battle mode a little bit this entire season with the back and forth 5-point or less wins. How do you take advantage of that going into the NCAA tournament?
You know what? Our team has been there. We've played some close games. We won about 9 of them. The last game against Cincinnati, we didn't execute down the stretch. We had some easy baskets. We missed a couple layups. We missed a couple free throws. We just got to defend at a high level. When you play in those close basketball games, you got to get stops. You got to get 2 or 3 stops late in the game in order to win. The game versus Cincinnati, we were unable to get 2 or 3 stops late. We didn't make free throws, so we got to do that stuff in this game if it's a close game down in the end.
All right, Pat with the Associated Press.
Hey, Coach, thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I guess I was just curious, inside the bubble, what can you do other than practice and meals to kind of keep their guys from laying around all day and just kind of keep them active?
It's pretty much all you can do. You know, when we first got here, we had to quarantine for 18 hours. The guys were unable to lift weights. Our first practice was yesterday about 7 o'clock. We got back from Purdue Arena probably about 10:45 that night. We got something to eat, put the guys straight to bed. We woke up this morning. We had a breakfast. We did a COVID test. We hadn't lift weights today. We're going to go out and lift, I think, about 4 o'clock. So that'll be the first time they're doing any type of activities. We're just trying to follow all the COVID rules. And the first time we can get out is 4:45.
All right, Jacob Allrucht, KWCH.
Coach, we talked to somebody with Drake yesterday, and he said one of the things they'll bring to the table is just their toughness and kind of a fight never go away. Sounds a lot like you guys. Anything you need to say to the team to let them know that there's never a moment to let up in a tournament like this? You think they understand that?
I told the guys, you know, I know you're excited about being in the tournament, but now you got to be excited about getting a win. And our last 2 games, we didn't play well. We didn't break 70 versus South Florida. We didn't break 70 versus Cincinnati. We just got to be ready to go. I mean, the guys are excited. We know the things we needed to work on after the conference tournament, and we're just ready to get started.
All right, Taylor with Wichita Eagle.
Yeah, Coach, when you said it's a dribble drive offense, what's the key, on defense, and what are you guys going to have to do a good job of, and especially against number 1, Yusefu? I mean, it looks like he's just been on a roll lately. So how do you kind of combat that on defense?
Number 1, we got to do a good job of getting back in transition and making sure our half-court defense is set. Once we get to half court, we got to do a better job of staying square, not letting guys just drive and get layups. After that, we got to do a good job of our principles, being in the gaps, making guys drive the kick, making them have to make 2 or 3 passes. Our ball screen coverage got to be excellent. When they run any pick and roll stuff, we got to do a good job of our 5 kind of soft trapping the point guard, everybody else rotating if they roll down the lane. And we just got to do a good job of staying square, guarding without fouling, rebounding, and playing with toughness.
All right, Paul Solentrop with the Roundhouse.
Craig Porter's given you some good minutes recently. What are you getting from him, and what kind of contributions do you need from him?
We need him to just be solid like he's been all year long. Come off the bench, give us good minutes, run our basketball team, not turn it over, play good defense, make wide open shots when he get the opportunity, and just defend at a high level. The same thing we've expected all year, and the same thing he's given us all year.
All right, question, Jacob Allrucht.
Coach, sorry if we missed this in the beginning when you were muted. I think you said Poor Bear was practicing. Do you expect him to go, and are you guys going to have a full roster, or will you still be missing some guys?
Yeah, Poor Bear will be ready to go. Jaden and Trevin, I'm not sure about their situation yet. I got to find out today. If they pass their COVID test, they'll be able to come to the game tomorrow. I don't think they'll be in the practice today, but Isaiah will be ready to go. He had a good practice yesterday, and we expecting him to go tonight, and hopefully he'll be ready to go tomorrow. He looked good yesterday in practice.
All right. See, Shakira, KSN.
Coach, with him returning back, just how much of an emphasis does he bring to the squad to help you guys during the tournament?
It helps us tremendously because when we go to the bench and I have to put Trey Wade at the 5 spot, it kind of throws off our offense because Trey only knows the 4 and the 3 spot. So having Isaiah Poor Bear Chandler out there at the 5, we can execute more in the half court. And we also got another big that we can throw the ball to that can score his back to the basket, and he's a great rebounder. So just having him back helps us offensively tremendously, and it gives Morris some well-rested time on the bench,
All right, Taylor Eldridge, Wichita Eagle.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, looking at Drake's offense, their numbers, I mean, it's kind of a unique offense where they don't shoot a ton of threes, but they're good at shooting them. But they really get in the lane and score it well. Is it kind of a unique offense where, so many teams in college basketball are shooting so many threes this year, in these days, but they kind of get the job done in other ways?
Yeah, they do a good job, like I said, of the dribble drive. They don't shoot a lot of threes, but when they shoot them, you know, they got some guys that can make them. Their guards do a great job, but when they drive, they spin and they throw jump hooks. Our team hadn't seen that a lot, where you got guys at the 1, 2, and the 3. Anytime they're drive, they're like a postman. They will spin and they'll turn a jump hook. So we just got to do a good job, number one, of keeping them in front, being in the gaps, and contesting shots at the rim without fouling.
All righty. And got any other questions for head coach Isaac Brown? We have a question. All right, Taylor.
And just real quick, just with the COVID testing, I mean, there's no updates there. I mean, you guys have been testing negative every day.
Yes, we've been negative every day. We hadn't heard anything else. Every guy's ready to go to practice. And like I said, we're waiting on the other 2 guys, Trevin and Jaden. We need to find their results. Hopefully we'll get those guys back tomorrow. But other than that, we've been good.
All righty. Any other questions for Coach Brown? Any other questions? All right, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.
Ready to go. We'll have Tyson Etienne here in a little bit. And just as up, guys, be sure to just raise your hand just so I know you have a question. And if any of you need permission to record, just mention that in the chat. All right, so for anybody just joining us, update, we're going to have Tyson Etienne coming up here from 12:15 to 12:30. And again, if you need permission to record, just mention.
And really buy in as quickly as you did to Coach Brown.
We knew that at the end of the day, we were going to control what we could control. You know, we weren't going to control what the administration made their decision, but we could control our effort, our attitude, and knowing that we had a season to play. When they said that IB was going to be the interim, you know, we just knew that we had a coach and that we were going to play a season. So it was just a matter of us continuing to do what we did all summer, which is improve and learn and just play. And we did that.
All right, Dan with USA Today. Oh.
Yeah, Tyson, I was hoping you could possibly describe what this experience has been like in what the NCAA is calling the controlled environment. Do you have enough to do during the day? Has it been lonely? Has it been difficult? I was just kind of curious your thoughts on the whole setup there.
For me personally, it's not too bad because, you know, at home I have had to stay away from a lot of things due to the coronavirus. For me, it's just been a lot of studying, a lot of watching film, learning different, you know, topics that I like to study outside of basketball. I've been pretty comfortable. Now that they've lifted our quarantine of having to actually just stay in the room the whole time, it's probably been a little bit freeing mentally, but it's not too bad for me.
Alrighty, Shakira with KSN.
Yo, Tyson, two quick questions. One, coach said you guys were excited to be there. Now he's changing it to get excited to win. Talk us through that process. And two, you guys have been battling all season with the close games. So how do you use that to your advantage going into the tournament?
Oh yeah, I'm on the same page with coach. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to, have your name called. But at the end of the day, we didn't just come here to just show up. We came here to win games and win games plural. So it's the close games things, I think it served us because it taught us how to fight. But that's been our whole season. We've had to fight through adversity. We've had to fight through hard times. So if we're given a tough game, any of these games, I'm not overlooking any game, but if Drake's are going to be a tough game, we're going to be, ready because they're a great team and it's going to go down to the wire. And we played down to the wire games all season.
Alrighty, Jacob Albrecht.
Tyson, you guys, out of your control, had a lot of games against good opponents taken away this year. Are you excited now to sort of prove to the world what you guys are made of as the competition at this point is good the rest of the way?
Yes, I think, everybody, when you're playing basketball, especially at this level, you want to play, against the best. Starting with Drake, we want to play against the best. They're one of the best teams in their league. And we want to play, great teams. Coronavirus has done a lot to everybody's season. Obviously, we had games that we wanted to play that got canceled, but, you do what you get. You make do what you get. And now we have the opportunity to play tomorrow evening, and we're just excited for the opportunity and just ready to play and show them what soccer basketball is.
All right, Stephen with the AP.
Hey, I have a wacky question for you. Everybody knows the One Shining Moment song. When you were playing basketball as a kid or anything like that, did you ever imagine yourself hitting a buzzer-beating shot or anything, being in that video?
I actually did. I talked about it in one of my interviews this week. I said after Villanova beat North Carolina, it was such an amazing moment to have watched that play unfold, for him to pitch the ball back and for him to hit the three in the fashion that he did. And when you play basketball, you have certain goals. You have goals of making the tournament. Then you have goals of going into a big game, into a tournament, and to make a game-winning shot. That obviously would be a great thing, a dream of mine. But for anybody on our team to make a game-winning shot, a win's a win, especially in the tournament. So if that unfolds, that'll be a special moment in my life for sure.
Alrighty, Taylor Eldridge, Wichita Eagle.
Yeah, Coach IB said that watching Drake on film, it kind of reminds him of a team that plays like an AAC offense, athletic, gets to the rim. When you watch them, what do they kind of remind you of? What's kind of the scouting report there?
I see talent. I see talent on the court. I see guys that know how to hoop. I know guys that can make shots. They have number 3, Gertz. He is a junkyard dog. He rebounds the ball. Big guy from Seton Hall that I'm familiar with. They're a great team, well coached. It's going to be a game for sure. It's going to be a tough game, and, it's going to who wants to win more. That's how it comes down to in the tournament. Who wants it more? Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to crunch time, the X's and O's go out the window. Who's fighting for more. So it's going to be a game. I know we both want to win. So.
Alrighty, Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch.